Greetings, my name's Philip, aka Dr. Phil, but not the one who sent you to the ranch. In this video, we're going to talk about the moveset of Sword and Shield in MOVESET Iceborne, which combos to use in which situations, and a handful of handy tips and tricks that will help you out on all the hunts throughout the game. For those who are new to my channel, I'm a Sword and Shield one-trick pony, and don't play any other weapons outside of very rare occasions. So I hope I can change your mind about Sword and Shield 2 and deliver you the best information. Please keep in mind that this is a first for me, so any criticism is highly appreciated and I improve on it in the future. With that being said, let's take a look at all the moves Sword and Shield has to offer. Starting off with the classic combo that Sword and Shield had from the very beginning, the triangle spam. I will go over the usefulness later in the video. This combo consists of the rising slash, chop, side slash, sword and shield combo, and finishing it off with the round slash. After a roll or while blocking, you can use a rising slash to start off the combo. Additionally, at the start of every combo, you can perform an advancing slash to close the distance between you and the monster. This can be done with both a sheathed and an unsheathed weapon as shown in the video. Over the time, SS has also received new moves that can deal either cut or impact damage. For cut damage we have the lateral slash and the return stroke that you can finish off with the round slash, whereas for impact damage we have the shield attack, shield bash and hard bash. In prior games, Sword and Shield wasn't able to change its direction mid-combo until Monsters in the World gave it the spiral slash, which combos into all the prior listed options, and also yet another move called the thrust. These two are essential for repositioning yourself as well as adapting to many moves the monsters throw at you. But Monsters in the World didn't only bring us this needed change, it also added a new move that was controversial for the entire Sword and Shield player base, and even to this day many players hate this move. I myself was part of that at the very beginning. However, over the time I learned to appreciate it to the point where I actually like it a lot due to its utility and high damage output. The dunk spam, as I like to call it, consists of a pretty simple move, the backstab. The backstab's input can be held down in order to charge a powerful attack, called the charge slash. However, that's not its only purpose. The backstab has a lot of iframes. Iframes determine the amount of time we can dodge through monsters' attacks. The backstab has roughly double the iframes than the regular roll, and therefore can be used conveniently to dodge through almost all monster roars and attacks. Back to the charge slash. Once fully charged, you will leap back towards the monster, and then rise up into the air. This leap's main damage is based on cut damage, 2 slashes to be accurate. Once you're up in the air, you can perform two different moves, the jumping slash, which is a rather weak attack that allows you to mount monsters, and of course the infamous falling bash. The falling bash has two high damage dealing shield attacks, thus impact damage and therefore KO damage. Keep in mind that all attacks done with your shield do not apply elemental or status damage, and that's the main reason why this combo mostly focuses on weapons with a high roar stat. So, why do I call the dunk spam? Well, it's the best option for raw based Sword and Shield, and all you do the entire hunt is spam it. It's not as simple as to what meets the eye, but again, we will get to that later. Last but not least, we have the newest edition, the Perfect Rush, that got added with Iceborne, and many people have been asking me about it, so this move can only be performed after a backstab or a slinger burst. When performing a backstab, simply press triangle or Y, depending on your console, and similarly to the charge slash, you will leap forward again. From here on, there's a series of mini quick time events that you have to perform perfectly that lead to two very powerful sword slashes and shield bashes, respectively, as well as one finishing thrust that will always cling you onto the monster and always, after dealing a ton of cut damage, launch you away from it. If you want to perform the perfect rush after a slinger burst, simply press triangle or Y once again. After doing so, the slinger burst can be used by going into your slinger mode with a sheathed weapon, very important, and pressing R3. Remember, once you unsheath the weapon, you will not be able to use the slinger burst mode anymore, so you have to activate it again. Can be a bit of a pain, but you'll get it down. Now that we know of all the options Sword and Shield has, let's put them to use, shall we? We're looking at 3 different combos in this section. The slash dance, consisting of a series of slashes, obviously, the dunk spam, and the perfect rush. The slash dance is a powerful combo that's very easy to use. It's fast and can always change the direction of its attacks while allowing the player to make use of elements, statuses, and raw stats. We always want to repeat these moves in their specific order. Lateral slash into return stroke, into spiral slash, into thrust. That's all there is to it. If you're using a weapon with a high raw stat, you can also throw in a round slash if you want, though it might mess up your positioning. So, when should you use this combo? If you're using an elemental weapon, this is the highest DPS combo you can choose from. Though even with a raw sword and shield, you might want to use it due to its very fast attacks that are precise and can be rolled out of any time. It's also great to apply statuses with. Fast monsters that you aren't able to control well often favor this playstyle, but keep in mind to always try to match up your element with the respective weakness of the monster. Simply slashing on random spots can easily deal very pitiful damage, as with any other weapon basically. If you just got into Sword and Shield, stick to this combo and focus on an elemental build or mix between raw and elements. It'll allow you to adapt to the monsters quickly, and if you need to heal up, always gets you out of the fight almost immediately. I've already described how to use it earlier. Simply use a backstab and then charge the Sword and Shield. You can cancel the charge once your weapon has a red glow, or you can charge it a while longer. This allows you to time your charge slash batters so you don't miss it, and I personally adjust how long I charge it often enough, so I recommend you to do it as well. The dunk spam is nearly as accurate as the slash dance and can be very uncomfortable if you just got into it, though what you might not have known, there are actually 3 points during the combo where you can slightly change the direction. Once at the very beginning of the charge slash leap, you can slightly redirect yourself towards the left or right. During the second hit of the charge slash, you are yet again able to face slightly to the left or to right, which, if you stack those 2 up, make quite a difference. And at the very last portion of the combo, when you actually perform the folding bash, you have the option to change your direction up to 360 degrees, which means you can redirect your bash into any direction you want, and that is huge. Once you get into the dunk spam a bit, you can use more advanced techniques such as the instant backstabs, for example. And something that's even hard for me today, the directional instant backstab. It's actually quite simple. The instant backstab, you simply run around with your sheathed or unsheathed weapon, doesn't really matter, and quickly press block as well as the input for the backstab. That's it. It requires a bit of practice, but shouldn't be too hard to perform. If you want to get into the dunk spam, please take the time and learn it, as it makes the experience a lot more enjoyable and a lot faster to perform. Once again, we ask ourselves, when should you actually use this combo? Because it does sound kinda clumsy. Any raw focus build loves this. In the Monster Hunter World base game, raw is by a good amount the best option for highest DPS, and therefore this used to be the best go-to combo for almost every fight in the game. In Iceborne, however, the versatility is more balanced, so the main advantage this combo has over the slash dance combo, despite higher damage for raw weapons obviously, is the fact that it deals a good amount of KO damage as well, which allows you to control the fight more easily in both single player as well as multiplayer. It's the hardest to learn out of any combo and can be uncomfortable at first, but it rewards you with many backstabs to dodge through different attacks while retaliating with very strong hits that partially deal KO damage. The Perfect Rush, the new Iceborne edition everybody is talking about. And it's not that great. This might be shocking to hear, but Perfect Rush isn't all that great in general and has pretty limited usage. Now, do not get me wrong. Its damage is actually higher than the slash dance and the dunk spam. However, this damage comes in form of a finisher. The downtime after you performed a perfect rush is really high and really messes up your positioning by launching away from the monster. And it's not just a small launch. It's also the least accurate in my opinion, as many of its hits often hit a different body part and you can barely change your direction while performing it. It also does not combo into any other of these options, limiting its move versatility a lot. Spamming this combo will never result in the highest DPS, no matter if you're playing raw or an elemental SNS. This doesn't make it useless, however, which leads me to the next point. When should you actually use this combo? Use it wisely. Use it as a finisher. If the monster just got paralyzed, or if it's trapped or just tripped onto the ground, that is the perfect timing for the perfect rush. Get in that sweet burst damage and let yourself get launched away. If you do not want your positioning to be messed up, or if you immediately want to follow up with more attacks after a KO, a trap or whatever, refrain from using it as well. You're better off just sticking to the dunk spam or the slash dance in that case. The 3 different combos are the ones you should always stick to. They will make sure to get the highest damage out of SNS at any time. But also don't be too shy to mix them up. SNS is a very versatile weapon, and simply building for one stat does not automatically exclude other combos. If you are running an elemental weapon, for example, you can still use the falling bash a few times if you want a KO, or if you use a raw weapon and the dunk spam just isn't convenient enough in that situation, do not hesitate to use the slash dance. Rule of thumb though, slash dance for SNS with decent to high elemental stats. Dunk spam for SNS with very high raw values. Perfect rush only as a combo finisher and not combo spamming. Very, very important. I really hope this video was able to clear a few things up, and if you got any questions for me, leave a comment and I'll get to it, promise. If you haven't already, I'd be very, very pleased if you subscribe to my channel. This video took a lot of effort and time. I will not only be posting Monster Hunter World Iceborne SNS speedruns, but I'm also working on more SNS guides in the near future. Additionally, I'm also running a series where I play through older Monster Hunter titles such as Freedom Unite with only Sword and Shield. That's it for my part. Now, go out there and show the world how fun Sword and Shield can be. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.